Once again, we have to take a moment to pause to express our thoughts and prayers to the victims and the families of the shooting in Colorado Springs at the Planned Parenthood clinic. It's not only distressing when any type of mass shooting occurs, it's even more distressing when there seem to be signals that the cause and the basis for this really lead us to be concerned as American citizens because we might be targeted because of the places we frequent or the values we hold. And I think what we want to convey is that this was a time of giving thanks, and it's hard for some of the families in Colorado Springs today to feel that they can give thanks. Our hearts and prayers, as I said, go out to them. Speaker Ryan started his speakership less than a month ago, essentially saying that he wanted to start with a clean slate. He wanted to turn the page so we could move forward. And we have many deadlines to cover in the next few days, quite honestly. There are no more than about 6 legislative days before we must have a budget in place. Otherwise, the government would shut down. The difficulty is this. Speaker Boehner, who was forced out by his Republican colleagues, essentially helped clear the deck for the next and new speaker, Mr. Ryan. The difficulty is on the things that matter most to Americans, we're seeing very little, unfortunately, being done. We continue to take action on the floor of the House to have moments of silence when we see these mass killings, but we take no votes to try to close the loopholes that exist in our gun safety laws. We haven't had a chance to vote on a bill that would let us have a universal background check of anyone who wishes to possess a gun to make sure that they are not mentally unfit or aren't criminals and felons. We are, as I said, 6 days away from watching Republicans in Congress and control of Congress lead to another government shutdown if we can't get a budget in place. As much as we would like to see a clean slate moving forward so we can do things, what we're finding is that the budget bill may be littered with all sorts of social agendas that have nothing to do with the fiscal requirements of our country to move forward. And so we would like to see a clean budget bill move forward, not littered with so many things that have nothing to do with the fiscal demands of our government and our economy. We'd like to make sure that we clear the decks and finally get on the books a bill that will let our cities and our towns and our counties go back to the business of rebuilding roads, fixing bridges, improving schools. But it's tough when we can't get the transportation infrastructure bill out of Congress. And so there are a lot of things that we need to do. We'd like to help Speaker Ryan maintain a clearing of the decks so we can get going, but we got to do this the right way. We got to do it cleanly, and we're hoping that we can take action, not just on gun safety, not just on a budget, not just on transportation, better roads and bridges so we can get to work on time, but dealing with all the issues that confront us, including security, national security, and the threat of global warming, climate change, and carbon pollution, which could endanger all of us, and certainly our kids and our grandkids.